All right, a very good morning and welcome to the show. It's only 8 minutes past 10 o'clock. It's Monday, the 20th of February, 2022, the year of our Lord Jesus Christ. He's been grateful to us. We are live again. And for that matter, we need to exalt his name. We need to praise him for the gift of life today, brand new day. Another brand new week. But that ends the month of February 2022. Tomorrow, we'll be moving to another brand new month. And of course, which will be the third month of the year 2022. As usual, today being Monday, we come your way with legal hour, courtesy of Abinelle Solicitors. Today, I have with me here again Amy Denter from Abinelle Solicitors. Last week, we couldn't have her, so Mami Nyako, Abinelle Nyako step up, and she did excellently well. So today, the boss herself is here with me via Zoom. And of course, your host is the darling of the darling J. Good morning, listeners. And thank you, Dr. Martin, for holding it down here this morning on GN Breakfast Show. And thanks to all the contributors to the show. We appreciate it so much. All right, without much ado, I'm going straight to pick up my guest for today's show. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning, darling Jay.
How are you doing? Adum. Now, swear.
Very well. I'm doing very well by God's grace.
The word that I come see in Tiama, I said Nipa is well. So, how is the family? How's everyone?
Everybody's doing well by God's grace.
Good. All right, we've taken much of your time, so we're not going to waste time. So in case you just tune in, this is GN Radio. We are live on Tunein. We are also live on our mobile app, which is available to be downloaded on Google Play and App Store. We are also live on Radio Garden and a lot of platforms. You go to Ghana Web, Modern Ghana. We are streaming there, and most importantly, our website, gnradiouk.com. We are also live on Facebook and YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter at gnradiouk. The last day of the month of February. So today, legal hour with Abinelle Solicitors. They specialize in immigration, family law, probate and wills, and a whole lot of issues. The money host man left. It's helpful here. Leave it. I'll keep it for you. Don't worry. Okay, so without wasting much time, we're going to discuss a whole lot of issues. So you can also keep your questions coming via 0778 793-9958 or 0203-735-8820. That's a landline number. You could call us 0203-286-0185. And if you want to text or WhatsApp us, the number again is 0778-793-9958. If you are watching us on Facebook, you can send your comments there as well. I'll be reading it for you. All right. My name is Darling J, and today I'm with Mrs. Amy Adai Denter from Abinelle Solicitors. So as you're going to enjoy this free legal hour on the radio, make sure if you have any immigration issue, you contact them as soon as the show ends. Just contact them. They will be at your service. They are more professionals, and their fees are second to none. So, and they do expedite job. So make sure you reach out to them for their services. All right. So, Emmy, if you are ready, let's kickstart with your first question here. Says, what somebody is asking, what is a skilled worker visa about, and which jobs qualify them? You say skilled worker visa. I don't know dear. Ne dear juma pa na yo.
Okay, well, skilled worker no type of worker beer or more specific skills.
To say
there are so many jobs that would entail you to have specific skills. Nurses, health visitors, mental health practitioner, midwives, engineers, accountants.
Teacher count,
nurse teachers count. So basically any profession, any profession that entails you having a particular skill would be considered a skilled worker. But the home office no appendix skilled occupation. Into appendix skilled occupations no. It gives you a list with a code, a list of different professions, a list of different skilled workers that you may check and find that your profession is part of. As I said, the list is exhaustive. There's so many of them. So we cannot say for sure which one it pertains to. There's just so many. I've mentioned some of them: engineers, electronic engineers, plumbers, teachers, nursery teachers, doctors, psychiatric nurses, psychologists. There's so many different professions or occupations under that list. So what I would say, and I say, it's if one to Google more, just to find out, to see whether it pertains to you. Because maybe I'm not my mention profession, and you are wondering, have a look at the appendix skilled occupations online. You see, it's a list of different professions. So that is really what it's about.
Now, emphasis domestic attendant also count.
Domestic attendant.
Yeah. Yes, like domestic. And on the any professional.
Oh, I think.
So you may be a Juma.
Oh, Juma be a Juma.
No, be clear. A domestic assistant. I think, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see, there's a domestic worker visa, which is separate, which you can apply under. Because under this skilled worker appendix skilled occupations, it pertains to particular careers. So as I said, the list is exhaustive. To me, so I listen. I check it, say who fall under, because there are so many. I haven't mentioned everything.
Yeah, I know.
But you can check to find out whether carers are part of it, care workers, care home managers, so many different midwives. Right? There's so many. Health assistants, so many.
What about drivers?
Drivers, I believe drivers, at some point.
Because it's a skill thing. It's a skill.
It is
a skillful job. So
exactly.
Or
so as I said,
if I understand, I say a Juma and no back school na skill. Is that how we define it?
It's not deemed that way. You can learn a skill by being trained. So it has nothing to do with school in particular. Yes, there are professions in there that entail you having to go to school, but it does not mean that you have to go to school necessarily to fall under that list. Okay. Yes. You see, when you even look, I've quickly had a look. If you look at driver, they don't have a general driver, but they have an ambulance staff. So ambulance driver, for example, they fall under the skilled work occupation list, for example. So maybe not general, but more pertaining to the health sector.
Ambulance driver, they are mujitu. It's their own definition. Now, if you are a driver to a private businessman, I don't swear.
No.
Why?
Not under the skilled occupation. They've set out specific occupations are almost per se. omunyanko for back from her be juma
All right. Yeah, your way. I say hello, good morning. I'm a follower of your program on Facebook. I'm a graduate from the University of Cape Coast and I have a degree in education. Can I apply for the caregiver program? Can you give me any guidance or assistance?
Okay, all right. So yes, the person can apply as a carer. However, darling Jay, this is a process, a taking process. First of all, for carers nankasano, you see, said that is under the shortage occupation list.
Right now.
Yes, if they say shortage, well, UK Maimono, there's a shortage of care workers and home carers. Both in the working in a home, and if you're working from domestic as a carer from home to home, there's a shortage. So that immediately opens up the person's chances or prospects of applying as a carer to come to the UK. That is a start anyway. Okay, so they tick that box. But there are many things that they would have to fulfill in order to make a valid application. One of the things is you need to have sponsorship. That I think is probably one of the most important. It's a mandatory part of the point system, and it's important because a lot of clients will come to you and say they are carers, they want to come to the UK as a carer. However, they don't have sponsorship. Okay, so sponsorship means you need an organization, a care home, a nursing home that have the home office sponsorship license. And if they have that home office sponsorship license and they are advertising for jobs, sponsorship, that I think they're advertising for jobs, then it means that particular care home, no, who to me apply with them and work with them. So it's not any care home. Untimi nko online enko check it. Any care home who dream say ebe offer ube apply and now say ube call online. I could check it, baby. They have to check that they have the home office sponsorship license before they can take that step in applying. Okay, so that's one of the criteria. As I said, I think in this program today, we're going to go through what the main requirements are. What the main requirements are to ensure you're able to make a successful application under this skilled worker route. We're going to go through it step by step.
Okay, step by step, we shall get it. And that's a caress now, what the power. And as a caress, no, my what the power.
My world is very important.
Second question, so that caress. Or say I'm a carer at a care facility in Accra. I've heard the UK is in need of carers. Is this true?
Yeah.
So they made to me answer. Yes, the answer is true. Amy to answer. Why is it true?
It's true because they are part of the shortage occupation list, carers. So it is true. They are in need of them. So yes, if you are in that position, you've got the skills, you've got the mindset, you've got the qualifications, why not? Please, you need to try and look for a sponsor to ensure that you're able to come to the UK and work, as per what you'd want to do. But darling Jay, apart from say, we're by UK, no. Of course, in every application under the immigration rules, you find there's a structure to it. So you need to pass, for example, the validity requirements. Okay, the validity requirements, no, they are looking first of all for you to complete the right form. Into say, Ghana. What's a Ghana? Now, who apply to come as a carer under the skilled worker visa route? You need to apply using the skilled worker visa form. There's a specific online form for that. Darling Jay, importantly, no, ebi ana uwa krom hadada uye student ni, and I say uye obia waba krom ha on another route. Maybe you are a parent. Maybe you are a spouse and you feel like, oh, well, I want to switch categories. I want to move to the skilled worker route. Also, to me apply or Chrome Hire from inside the UK and you need to use the skilled worker form online. So these are the type of things you need to meet. The validity requirements. Of course, we know, say, with the skilled worker route, you would have to pay a visa fee or a home office fee alongside an immigration health surcharge, as it has to be paid for you to make a valid application. And you need to have a valid passport. If you're Ghanaian, a passport that is in date, not an expired one. You need to also enroll your biometric information as well.
Okay.
Yeah, these are things that you have to look at. Now, apart from that, to seal the validity requirements, to seal it, what they are looking for, is that they want a certificate of sponsorship. Okay, that certificate of sponsorship, Jumanum, UK, the job, the Omobema with Juma, the certificate of sponsorship, and it has to be within no more of 3 months from the date of the application. Until certificate of sponsorship, now they are to 3 months now your application. They will refuse your application as you would not meet the validity requirements. When they give you the certificate of sponsorship, hot on the heels, they say they too hot, I expire, or not put me application. It has to be no more than 3 months before the date of application. So these are part of the validity requirements that SL will meet.
Okay. All right. My make on Facebook na me misa we so I'll see Kwajo Dako say, what if someone is already a carer and lives in the UK and don't have documents? What are the chances of that person?
Oh, no. If you look at the suitability requirements, you are not allowed to be here in breach of any of the immigration rules. And that mean that if you are here as an overstayer, you cannot make a valid application for a skilled worker visa. For a skilled worker application, if you're in country, you would have to go back to your home country, right? And in the case where you've overstayed, you would have to stay for a period of 1 year, 12 months, before you can make the application to come back. And you have to leave voluntarily. Yes, sir, will call involuntarily,
So if I understand it, if I understand it carefully, like, okay, for example, I live here, I'm a carer, I don't have a immigration status. I can decide to voluntarily go back to Ghana and wait for a year and apply to come back. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
That's correct.
Okay.
So for 12 months.
That answers the question anyway.
That's right. So maybe whilst being here, the care home you are even working for, they've got the sponsorship license, but you are here illegally. Okay. So you then, if you want to be here legally, you need to make sure you go back, you stay for the period of 12 months, and then you of course, apply with the care home that has the sponsorship license from the Home Office.
So the 12 months, is this something that the Home Office set it, or it's just like you have to give yourself a time of like a year?
No, it's set. It's part of the rules. Okay. So it's set. It's like, I wouldn't say punishment, but of course you've overstayed. Why overstay? Into if you've overstayed and you leave the UK voluntarily, before you can make an application to come back in, so it's not 12 months. Ansana, make a valid application about back in you.
Oh, okay. The person that sent the question, I'm reading this from Facebook, or say actually the person has a valid UK visa. So that I think that is straightforward.
Yeah, if you have a valid UK visa and of course it's not expired, then yes, you can switch from one category to the next. But there are certain categories that even if you have a valid UK visa, you can't switch from. For example, like if you have like an entrepreneur visa, or you are here as a parent of a child who is studying, for example, you can't switch on those ones. But you can switch if you're a spouse, for example. You can switch if you are a parent of a child. You cannot switch if you've been granted leave based on exceptional circumstances or discretion. It's been discretional, sort of, that you cannot switch on that basis either. So it's the usual. You are a student, you can switch. You are a spouse, you can switch. You are a family member of an EU national, you can switch. So these are the types of leave. I say, over to me and switch up from one to another. Yeah.
Okay. Let me read this one before. It says, lawyer, please speak a little for more understanding.
Okay.
Do you mean speak a little tree or what? I don't get it. Also, please, lawyer, please speak a little for more understanding.
Speak a little. Oh, okay.
No. Maybe your part is a turbo. Maybe I don't get it. But
all right. Whatever has to do.
All right. Let me read this. See, I'm applying for my 2.5 extension, and then I understand there's this fee waiver. Although I'm a full-time employee, I'm working, but what actually qualifies me to get the fee waiver?
What qualifies you to get the fee waiver? That's a very good question. So you're on the 2.5 year route. Yeah, I don't know whether it's
renewal.
Yeah, it's a renewal. I don't
whether
know if it's
spouse or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
10-year or parent or spouse. But for example, let's say it's the 10-year parent route. With the Home Office guidance, what they're looking for is they're looking to see if you meet this affordability test. Okay, so they're looking at everything. They're looking at your income. They're looking at your expenses. Okay, so let's say, for example, you're employed on a full-time basis, but when you get your pay at the end of the month, once you pay all your expenses, there's nothing left. You don't have a surplus, you don't have a deficit. Okay, you look to your savings accounts. There's nothing in your savings accounts. Okay, so then it begs the question: can you afford the Home Office fee and the Immigration Health Surcharge fee? The answer to that would probably be no, unless somebody else is borrowing you money. But based on your own financial circumstances, if they look at it, they can clearly see, they look at your bank balance in your current account, and they look at any other current accounts or savings.
Regardless whether you are full-time or part-time?
Regardless. Okay. You can even, for example, you can even be earning £3,000 a month, for example. Okay. If you earn £3,000 a month, but your essential needs takes the vast majority of your income. Maybe you're earning £3,000. Maybe you're in a household where you are the sole breadwinner. So everything that's coming out of that account is having, of course, an impact on the money you have.
Which your bank statement will show that
your bank statement, maybe your rent is £1,800, for example. You only have £1,200 left.
That's not enough.
You have children, you need to buy food, you need to pay for, there are other essential needs that you need to pay for your transport, your car insurance. By the close of the month, darling Jay, you have nothing left. It doesn't mean because you're earning £3,000 that you meet the affordability test. Not necessarily. It may mean that you still don't meet it. However, the Home Office are always looking for cases that they'll find that your money is being used recklessly. When I say recklessly, you're using it on betting.
Unnecessary expenses.
Lavish spending, spending on designer brands and buying alcohol. And when they have a look at your bank statement and they see that the outgoing costs are not essential needs, that is where they have a problem, Also, what they look at,
that's why you don't have.
Spending the basa no dear, almost showing him cry. But we will be diligent with Sika. Maybe I will combine household income. No, say we expenses free one. Like you are in difficulty. Sometimes, even in certain situations when people are employed full time, they are still in a destitute situation. Maybe they can afford their food, but their rent they can't afford. Or maybe they can afford the rent by Banedriane, and other essential needs. Now more struggle. It happens a lot, darling Jay. Ma obia and fantuna dream says they are employed full time. That means they do not meet the requirements for a fee waiver. No, it's not true. It's not true. what I would say is mumbra your office, finances, whether you can qualify for a fee waiver
so
or whether
even before the person start, you wait and see, say, oh, I think at your judicial, we will say, or qualify, and that's all qualify. You don't say, or be attempting to be fully, okay.
That's correct.
Okay, deep out the message, but I think that answers your question rightly. I say, how are nurses and care workers eligible to apply under the skilled worker route?
Okay. So eligibility is one of the requirements. As in every immigration application, we have to remember, say, you need to meet the validity and eligibility requirements. Okay, so eligibility requirements under the skilled worker route is very straightforward. So what they've done is they've done it in a point system, a bit of a point system, and they've put some points as mandatory and some points as tradable points. The mandatory, of course, as you know, you have to fulfill it. I think it will be helpful for us to look at the mandatory points first. You need to be awarded 50 mandatory points from the table set out in Appendix SW, which is more technical, but if I'm going to say it in a layman's point of view, 50 points is divided into 3 different categories. First is sponsorship. So that's what I mentioned earlier. You need to be sponsored by a care home or a nursing home that has the Home Office sponsorship license. So then if you tick that box, watch at 20 points immediately. The next one is job at an appropriate skill level. For example, if you're a nurse, you know that they're, under the skilled occupation list, nurses are there, and under the shortage occupation list, you've got carers as well. So they want you to be at the appropriate skill level. You have the skills required for that particular job. If you are able to demonstrate that, again, it's 20 points. And then the last 10 points is the English language test.
Wow.
So yes, English language skills. It should be at level B1, which is intermediate. So it's not higher, it's not, advanced, and it's not foundation. It's in the middle.
Yeah.
It's in the middle. And yes,
at least there's a clarity that's understandable.
Correct.
People understand you when you speak.
Speaking and listening, you can speak and you'll be heard. That is 10 points as well. So these are the mandatory things. So if you're a carer or you're a nurse, these are the things you must concentrate on. Before I make my application, I should look for a sponsored, somebody who has the license to sponsor me. So for example, you're a carer, you go onto the NHS, a nurse, you go onto the NHS website, you type in NHS jobs in London. You know that with the NHS, with most of their trusts, there's a possibility that they would have that sponsorship license. Whereas maybe with carers, there are specific care homes that have it. I think a point of contact or a place we can all start from is if we look not just online, because sometimes you look online and you don't understand so much of the jargon being used, you don't know what it's about. So I think instead of looking there, you look for agencies, nursing agencies, care agencies that can be of help to you. They would set out what the requirements are, what they'll be able to offer you, your salary, what are some of the perks, the type of skills they would want you to have, the type of qualifications they would want you to have. Who say, okay, I qualify. And I said, David, for this role in particular, no, I don't qualify for this role. So I think the agencies are very helpful as well. Okay. Apart from the mandatory points, I said we'll try 50 points. There's something called tradable points. Tradable points. If we are looking at nurses, you have to look at option A. The tradable points requirements for option A or for nurses is we're looking at £25,600 per year. That's what you should be earning. Okay, so the salary either equals or exceeds £25,000 per year. In the alternative, £10, 10 pence per hour, and the going rate for the occupation code. If you are able to score you have to score 20 tradable points. When it gets to the tradable, it's not 50, it's 20. So that could be for nurses. But if you look for carers now, they fall under the job shortage occupation list.
Yep.
So their salary differs slightly. Their salary is £20,480 per year, or the £10, 10 pence per hour, or 80% of the going rate for the occupation code. Okay, so you see, darling J, they make kind of 50% mandatory, and then the 20% tradable points, The tradable points, actually, they say, for a Jumana, to me, be on £12,000 if you're a nurse, £12,000 a year, they are not going to take it. As far as we are concerned, show share more options was our tradable points list now. They are looking for salaries are within the region of £20,480 or £10, 10 pence per hour. So these are the things you should look at. These are the things you should be looking for, or the going rate. So when you speak to the agency, you let them know that I'm applying as a carer, and these are the sorts of requirements I need to meet. So if you are telling me you pay me £10,000 a year, there's alarm bells there. It's wrong. You wouldn't get the visa. You need to go for a set salary, in accordance to the points, the tradable points list or the table. You need to be looking at that. So I think in a way, darling J, let me say a dear way a protected in Kofoa free outside by UK to ensure that they will be paid accordingly. They will be paid properly. It protects people. Okay. Yes, I will buy £5,000 a year. No. And I said agency because say 10,000. Now why a Juma worth there's a 20-something thousand deputy. They are trying to protect the workers so that the work you are coming to do, you will be paid at that going rate, not at any particular rate that they choose to pay you at. So I think that is brilliant what the Home Office have done there, and the rules reflect it, which is really good. I think it's very helpful.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for your explanation. And as we carry on, we have, funny enough, today's questions are all based on care. I believe this one is from Ghana. It says, good day. Please, a friend of mine. So, Amy, listen carefully because it's a bit long. So, I want you to take some points from the question. It says, good day. Please, a friend of mine gave this number to chat with you about carer job in the UK. If you can help me out, anyway, that's unnecessary. I'm Shadrach Menanu, a teacher, and have degree in basic education, Winneba, Ghana Central Region, Commander. I'm a senior carer. I have a senior carer certificate with IAN's Company UK online program with IELTS band score 5.5. I'm humbly asking if you can help me get sponsorship and process my documents for me to come and work as a carer. Thanks. Humbly waiting for you. Wow. I don't know whether it's meant for the station or it's meant for you. So basically, I don't understand these terms. He says he got, actually, he's a senior carer. He's got a senior carer certificate with a company called IANS in the UK. That's an online program with IELTS band score 5.5. Bam. That's what it is. So if you can help us out.
Okay. Well, I think Shadrach is probably, it sounds like he's got the qualifications and he may have the skill sets that care homes may need. However, he's asking about if I can help him with sponsorship.
Yep. With
sponsorship, dear, darling Jay, I don't help with sponsorship. However, in order for him to be, going in the right direction with sponsorship, what I would advise him to do is to go online and look for, care agencies, maybe not care homes specifically, but agencies that recruit staff, recruit carers. You see that they will be able to match you up with a care home that have the sponsorship license.
Okay.
Do you see? So that is my advice to him. Work towards getting a care home that have the sponsorship license. Check online, do your research before you make the decision to even work with the organization in question. Once you speak to agencies, brief you about more to do with the job. Aside them having the sponsorship license, they tell you the perks, the advantages, the disadvantages, how they will help you, with even this carer's worker, the care worker visa. It could be that even the care home may even help you with accommodation once you arrive. They may even pay your travel fare. It all depends. It all depends on the particular care home that you are dealing with. So it's great to go through agencies so that they can help match you up with the right organization, the right fit.
And I think there's a few of them, speculating on social media that they can help people with the, especially nurses to process their application and all that for a fee. I think, if you can get in touch with one of them, that would be most helpful. Let's move on. Let me go to Facebook and read one or two comments before I continue with the text messages.
Okay.
It says, good morning, Lawyer Amy. Please, which is more advantageous, oral appeal and paper appeal? That from Nana Jiman.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nana Jiman.
Oral appeal and paper appeal.
Oral appeal and paper appeal. I wouldn't say that one is more advantageous than the other. It really depends on the appellant and the appellant's circumstances. Sometimes you get some appellants, right? And they're very poor witnesses. When I say they are poor witnesses, when they go to court, they are not able to articulate themselves properly. They fumble when asked questions, when they are cross-examined. They don't do very well. And to be honest, you look at the case in its entirety, you look at the bundle of documents, and you can see that this is a very strong case, but it's unfortunate that the witnesses involved, are giving poor evidence, and it makes the case, difficult to achieve the goal we are looking for. So if you are in a predicament where you're poor at giving evidence, you panic, you're not too sure how to speak, you've got a very good case, you're confident about your case, but when it comes to speaking, you're not too confident. You have the option. That is why with the immigration appeal system, you have the option to go for either oral or paper. If you feel more comfortable with your witness statement being drafted together with you, and for it to go to the judge and he looks at it based on the papers, that's fine. But just remember, the disadvantage to doing a paper hearing is that maybe there may be a point that the judge does not understand. The judge does not understand that particular point. If it was an oral hearing, the judge will quickly ask you that question. Oh, I don't understand this. Can you clarify this for me?
Okay.
Again, if you're a good witness, you'll be able to confidently explain it to the judge. But if you're a bad witness, something that is so easy and so, it's not complicated at all in nature, you can make it complicated.
Okay.
And even at that, it would have been better if it was on paper than you actually talking. So it just depends, but I can tell you the advantages to an oral appeal is it gives life to the appeal. You see live witnesses, and it gives the opportunity for witnesses to be cross-examined to ensure that the case brings about a bit of clarity. So it just depends. It depends on your circumstances. If you come to Abinelle, we'll be able to advise you as to whether you should go for a paper hearing, depending on the client's needs, or an oral hearing. So it just really depends.
I've got another question on Facebook from the same Nana Juman. I'll be reading it in a jiffy. But before then, let me remind you that you tune into GN Radio. We are broadcasting live online right now via www.gnradiouk.com. We are also live on Radio Garden, Tunein, and of course our mobile apps, which is available to be downloaded on Google Play and App Store. We are also live on Facebook and YouTube currently. And we are now talking to Mrs. Amy Adai Dente from Abinelle Solicitors. Abinelle Solicitors, their legal institute, which specializes in immigration, a whole lot of issues. So if you want to contact them, their telephone numbers are 0203 759 3309 or 078-24-075-353. I will repeat, 078-24-075-353. And their website is www.abinellesolicitors.co.uk. That's www.abinellesolicitors.co.uk. You can send them email via info@abinellesolicitors.co.uk, and they are located at number 14 Claypole Road, Stratford, E15 2RA. That's their office address. So do contact them on their office hours, which is Monday to Friday. Amy, do you work on Saturday weekends or by appointment?
Probably by appointment only.
Okay, so basically, literally, they work from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now, Nanajima again says, I think I can answer this one. Also, Amy, please, I want to know the difference between removal and deportation.
All right. Difference between removal and deportation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So deportation is when basically you are being deported from the UK. It could be to do with a number of different things. For example, it could be to do with you committing a criminal offense. Remember that in the deportation, you may even have leave. You may have leave to remain in the UK, but you still can be deported, okay? Because maybe you've committed a criminal offense, you could be deported. For example, you may have overstayed on your visa, and you are not leaving involuntarily. You are not leaving, voluntarily. They are actually deporting you, okay? So that would really be, will fall under deportation. So criminal offenses, even when you have leave, criminal offenses when you do not have any leave to remain, and importantly, if you are here and you are here illegally, so you've overstayed on your visa, they can deport you. So removal, well, really on the same lines, but sometimes with removal, they can give you removal directions. So they've not actually removed you yet, but they're giving steps for you to be removed from the UK eventually. Okay, so it's different in that sense. So sometimes they give you removal directions, but the words can be used interchangeably. I was removed from the UK. I was removed. Someone can also say I was deported. It might be for the same reasons. It might be criminal offense. You've overstayed on your visa. That sort of thing. So really, words are really used interchangeably at times. Okay. But as I said, there's such thing as removal directions. So you've not been removed yet, but the Home Office that in the nearest future, you will be removed. So they will give you some sort of directions to that effect. Yeah. Okay. Words are used interchangeably.
It's self-explanatory. It's quite clear. Another question from Facebook today we're going to wrap up exactly 11. Amy hasn't got time at all. Exactly 11 o'clock we have to leave, without a doubt. So if you got any question, please do not hesitate to send it before it is too late, because as soon as it's 11 o'clock, we are out of here, please. Another one says, do you have to do the English test each time you apply for a renewal? From Tia Ajayi.
Each time you apply for a
A
renewal.
renewal, like renewal of a visa, maybe 2.5 or I don't know.
Okay, well, I mean, with these things, it just depends. If you're renewing to do your, let's say under the UK immigration rules, you're going for your indefinite leave to remain, the requirement for English language may not be at the same requirement it was when you were coming to the UK initially. They step it up a notch when you're going for your indefinite leave to remain, because you need to satisfy the life in the UK.
Oh, it says 2.5.
It's 2.5.
Yeah.
Well, with 2.5, if it's 2.5,
And it's a spouse visa.
and it's a spouse visa, and since then, you've done your 2.5, it may be that the next,
Renewal.
leave that you apply for, the renewal that you may apply for, it will step up a notch one month. Because initially, maybe you started with speaking and listening at an intermediate level. You're going for your next renewal, and they want it at level A2. They want it at level A1. So it may be that you'd have to. Sometimes the period in which somebody will go and get the English language test, and there's been, maybe it's even advanced, but there's been some years, maybe 3-4 years, they may ask you to do it again, because it has an expiration date, and they want you to subsequently get it done again.
Okay.
So it just depends. Yeah.
All right. We got literally 6 more minutes to leave or to end the show. My last question, what are the suitability checks that I may need to undergo? Which one is it? So is it?
What are the suitability?
Okay, let's leave that one. It's a bit complicated. Let me read this one.
Oh, is that to do with the carers and
I think so.
nurse?
Yeah. So what are the suitability checks that I may need to undergo?
Okay. So with that one, you need to do like a criminal background sort of check, So you would have to get that check done from your country of origin.
Okay.
So it's like one of these things in the UK. What's that? There's something that we do to check CRB.
And DBS.
Yes, DBS. The equivalent of CRB and DBS, for example, in Ghana, so you go to the police, they give you sort of a history just to check to see whether you are in good standing and you're an upright individual, of course. They want to check your character and see whether you've been indulged in such criminal activities or not. So we give you you need a certificate before you are able to make an application anyway for the leave to come to UK.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think we should take last question, and we are done.
Darling Jane, okay, let's take this question, and then to wrap it up, I wanted to conclude with something.
Okay, then do so, because we've got only 4 minutes.
Only 4 minutes. Okay.
Sorry, those of you who've got your questions here, we can't do any more. Lawyer made me understand she's got something for us. I hope it's a good news. So next week we'll continue with all your questions. Don't worry, because of time.
And let's encourage them. Let's encourage them to call. Let's encourage them to call the office if they have any queries.
Exactly.
They should call the office, email us, WhatsApp us. We're happy to be of service to them. So I wanted to also just chip in. We're talking about carers, we're talking about nurses. There's also a financial requirement for those people trying to come into the UK. And
you mean the nurses?
The nurses and the carers.
Okay.
They want them to have at least £1,270. This
in
they
the
have
account.
to have. Yes. You see.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you are in Ghana, you should have 1,200 plus in the equivalent of Ghana cedi. Is that correct?
So it's £1,270. The equivalent of the pound. Yes. You see, it might be too that maybe they don't have it, but the care home or the nursing home are going to sponsor them, and they will certify that they will do that. They'll sponsor them to say that they will maintain and accommodate them for up to the first month of their employment. As to any amount up to 1,270. So it might be that you are lucky enough. You are the type of person that, you've got a job.
Why this financial requirement?
Oh, you know that, darling Jay, if you're coming as a carer or a skilled worker, when you come to the UK, obviously you're going to be gainfully employed. You know that because of your certificate of sponsorship.
Yep.
However, you know that to settle in, to
start up with,
right.
You need some money to start up with. Yeah.
You need a little bit of money for food. They don't want you to be a burden on the state. Remember, you have no recourse to public funds. So they want you to be in good financial standing so that in the first month before you are paid, you are able to sort yourself out a little bit. And then, of course, subsequently, you'll be paid.
But if that's the case, technically, that money is not enough then.
Well, I'm very surprised it's quite low, actually. I'm really surprised.
It's not enough.
But at the same time, you have to bear in mind that possibly maybe they think that there are other costs involved, such as traveling, your air ticket, there may be a few other costs. Some of these agencies actually charge a fee. So you need to pay your home office fee, your visa fee, and your immigration health surcharge as well. So, coupled with so many other things, it might be quite expensive for you. So I think they've been a bit lenient in saying £1,270. Okay. You know that you can stay in a hotel for half that amount. Okay. You know that depending on where you are staying, you can stay in a hotel for a month for half of 1,270 for 1 month.
Bed and breakfast will do.
Bed and breakfast. Okay. Eventually you get there.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing this information with us here today. As usual, we appreciate you. And hopefully next week, Monday, same time, 10 to 11, we shall be here. So without wasting your time, rush and go and defend the case for us. All right.
Thank you
bye-bye
so much.
from now.
All right. And have a blessed day. Blessings to the listeners.
Bye.
We are under the grace of God.
Okay, we end the show right now. Those of you listening to us on the radio, we are off for a commercial break. But those of you on the online right now, we're still here. So that's what time will permit us to say bye-bye. Hopefully, next week, same time, I'll come your way with Mrs. Amy Adedenta from Abinelle Solicitors. So once again, do not hesitate to contact them on 0203-759-3309 or 07824-705-353. Locate them at 14 Claypole Road, Stratford, E15 2RJ. I'm talking about Abinelle Solicitors. Tomorrow morning, make sure you tune into GN Breakfast Show with Dr. Martin. And on Friday, all the news headline for the week, we'll wrap it up here every Friday morning between 8 and 11. Until then, stay put. After the commercial break, I'll come your way with a few announcements. The music got a bad guys coming from Philippa Buffy.